So hello everyone, welcome back to Oliveboard's Agri Coaching. This is our second part of agricultural extension education. So therefore, of course, the class is in English for all the students who are comfortable in English. Let's continue our discussion on this particular second part. So where were we? In our first class, what did we see? We see the definition of education. We then saw what is extension education, the history of extension education, two phases, before independence and after independence of extension education. And now here we will continue with extension education systems by ICAR. Okay, now listen very carefully what I'm trying to tell. All the things today are factual, that is extension systems we are going to see by ICAR. So therefore you have to be cautious as well as you should keep a high concentration. None of the fact should go from or under your eyes. Okay, so 4 main transfer of technology projects have been done by ICAR in the domain of extension education. The first is national demonstration, which happened in 1964. First ND happened for the major food crops. Now this 1964, this national demonstration is actually one of the pioneer reasons for your green revolution. Okay, so this particular national demonstration, whatever major food crops national demonstration was done, this actually laid the foundation for your green revolution. Remember this very carefully. Operational research project. Okay, now this happened in 1974. Mixed farming, integrated pest sorry guys, 1974-75, mixed farming, integrated pest management, post harvest technology, fisheries are focused. That means what? Operational research project, if you see 1974, it is the same year in which in agriculture we tried to boom our total production by adding allied activities in agriculture. Which activities? Allied agricultural activities. So in this way you could see 74-75 was more about ORP. Then Krushi Vigyan Kendra, KVK. We all would be knowing, we need, of course, to improvise your agriculture, you need technology, assistance of technology. Now Krushi Vigyan Kendra, under whose recommendation, which is the name of the committee which resulted into foundation of Krushi Vigyan Kendra? Please students write it in the comment section. I am not going to give the answer this time. Okay, so first Krushi Vigyan Kendra was established in 1974 at Pondicherry. Okay, then land to lab project. Okay, 1979, actually it was to improve your overall economic conditions for small and marginal farmers. If you see small and marginal farmers, these particular families or particular farmers who are small and marginal, those are highest in the Indian agriculture. If you see, more than 64%. So farmers and landless agricultural laborers, particularly who are from the backward class, such as scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. How we are going to improve their condition? By transferring the technology to them, so that their agricultural whatever practices are there, those are improvised. Now these particular technologies are established or maybe invented by agriculture university, research institutions, etc. Okay, then from April 1992, all first line transfer technology projects of ICAR, such as of course national demonstration, ORP, that is operational research project, LLP, that is your lab to land project, were integrated along with Krushi Vigyan Kendra. Actually, if you see, Krushi Vigyan Kendra is the nodal point. Krushi Vigyan Kendra, it's the nodal point. Krushi Vigyan Kendra actually disseminates technology, as well as it also decimates or maybe extends the hand of national demonstration, operational research project and lab to land project to different farmers at different regions. Okay, so this is what Krushi Vigyan Kendra does. First, let us talk in depth about national demonstration, which happened in 1964. So here 100 districts, mainly through state agricultural universities, participated in this particular national demonstrations. What were these demonstrations all about? These were to demonstrate how genetic production potentialities of various major crops can increase our total quantity and quality of production. Okay, to fully exploit the demonstration, the purpose was to train the farmers, field extension functionaries to improve their cultivation practices. It's the same time when we wanted to be food surplus. So that is why we, according to the era of 1960s, it's the same era when what happened? Of course, the high yielding variety or hybrid seeds wave came from Western countries, that is America to Philippines. Looking at that, normal Borlaug also thought to bring the same high yielding variety seeds in the Indian subcontinent. Now when Norman Borlaug bought it, MS Swaminathan saw that these high yielding variety seeds technology should be disseminated all around the country. Such national demonstrations were done. It was also to provide research, okay, workers an opportunity to get first-hand knowledge of such problems which are being faced by farmers who are adopting high yielding varieties, and it recommended certain packages of practices and methodologies for your agriculture. So overall, it also talked about what could be the, of course, giving the first-hand knowledge as well as discussing the problems which farmers will be facing when they adopt high yielding varieties. It also determined income and employment generation possibilities or potentials about such particular, what we say, demonstration activities. Okay, influence of extension education. If you see, many of the State Department of Agriculture and voluntary organization in the country, what they did, they started to bridge the gaps and pointing out the operational constraints. Okay, then this particular national demonstration, it was more of to bring the farmers or to increase the inclusivity of farmers in context of technology practices and this hybrid technology. I hope you get it. Then operational research project 1974-75. Now this particular ORP was for your cluster of watershed area. So this was to improve your overall irrigational palette. Okay, so here to test, to adopt and demonstrate new agricultural technology on farms field, okay, in a particular whole village or cluster. Okay, so here you could see to determine profitability or maybe outcome of all the new technology which can be used, then to identify the constraints, technological as well as socio-economical, that can bring that are actually barriers to the rapid change. Okay, other than that, if you see, almost 30 technologies were such which were demonstrated and popularized at that time. Okay, then let's move forward. That is Krushi Vigyan Kendra 1974. Very, very important. You have to remember this. Target area was whole district. Okay, if you see the objective, it was to provide strong training support to bring about maximum production in the agriculture. And the objectives, if you see, first is to demonstrate latest technology to the farmer. Second is, of course, to impart training to the practicing farmers. That is one main motto of Krushi Vigyan Kendra is teaching by doing. Teaching by doing. What do you mean by teaching by doing? So you teach by actually performing that activity, or you teach by showing that particular activity. So rather than just giving lectures, rather than just sharing the knowledge, you actually use that knowledge, try to apply that knowledge. So application based knowledge, and you demonstrate that particular application based knowledge through your teaching. Feynman's technique is also there. Feynman. So he was a famous physicist. What he said? He said that Feynman was a famous physicist. He said that if you want to have clarity of thought for any of your knowledge which you are having in your head, okay, so suppose you read a book of agriculture, suppose you read a book of physics, suppose you read a book of astronomy. Whenever you are reading those books, always remember, Feynman said that if you want to know that do you know this concept completely or not, there is only one thing or one action you can do. First, if you want to retain and if you want to understand it better, what you can do is that you can just recite it, then you can give an exam or test so that you understand the outcome. But that would be not giving an guarantee that you have completely understood that particular thing. If you want to understand that a particular concept is there, any syllabus is there, any problem is there, or any knowledge is there, and if you have understood it properly, the best way to learn that particular thing or to understand it better, it's to actually teach someone. So Feynman technique was about teaching different things to other. When you teach, at that time you yourself will have conceptual clarity. So therefore, teaching by doing, it is one way of application based knowledge through demonstration, and also learning by doing. So a person would be the person who is demonstrating, that person would be using the principle of teaching by doing. So he's doing something, he's performing something and teaching people, okay. And learning by doing, the person who would be gaining knowledge, or maybe the person who is looking at that particular demonstration, okay. So by looking at the demonstration, now he is learning by doing. So in this way particular Krishi Vigyan Kendra, they bring actually at grassroots level, or maybe at the agricultural field, okay, at the grassroots level we try to act, or maybe we try to dissipate application based knowledge, okay. And that application based knowledge is through demonstration. One is showing the knowledge or maybe replicating the knowledge through demonstration, and other is receiving the knowledge through again demonstration. To back up with the training and communication supports to the district level, developmental departments of course are there for the support. Then is lab to land program. If you see 1979 overall, target group if you see small marginal farmers, as I already told you, this was to improve economic conditions of targeted group of people, okay, from backward class of course, by transfer of improved technologies in their agricultural field, which were of course supported by your agricultural universities, okay. Then comes intensive agricultural district program, a very important scheme this is, okay. Intensive agricultural district program 1960s. Now understand very carefully, IADP is very important when we consider agricultural overall production and prosperity in the country, okay. Now what were the objectives of intensive agricultural district program? First is to increase the production, okay. So they wanted to increase the production. How you are going to increase the production? Either you add your overall inputs, that is through finances, technical, that means adding technology, extension is nothing but spread of knowledge, okay. So spread of knowledge through its practicality, and administrative resources. So these were the things where we are trying to improve your production. To achieve that, a self-generating breakthrough in productivity and raising the production potential by of course stimulating human and physical process of change, okay. This was also very important. So to achieve self-generating breakthrough for productivity overall, to increase the yield of the crops, to increase the output of the crops, increasing the productivity per unit hectare, for all these things of course it was very important to stimulate is to change or to improve human and physical process of change, then it's to demonstrate most effective ways of increasing the production. So to demonstrate most effective ways of increasing production, in the sense what, you want to increase the production, but there are different ways of increasing the production, okay. So here trying to find out different ways of production, and then going of course region to from different region to region, according to different objectives you choose your ways to improve your production. Then to provide lessons for extending such intensified agricultural production, okay. So this here the name only will suggest, here the main objective was to increase your overall output, okay, increase your production, increase your productivity. But this was not done haphazard way, it was done through agricultural district program, in the sense what, in each district it was commonly observed what are the agricultural practices. Then resource, again resource classification, find overall requirement of finance, application of technology, extension, education and spread throughout its overall district area. Then what are the administrative resources in the hand which could be used in that particular district, and then utilizing all these things in tandem, so that of course we are going to improve our overall production. So this is what your intensive agricultural district program means. Now always remember, if you see overall green revolution, it started in 1967 and it was till 2003, okay. So here try to understand, if you see in India today, every region, specifically every state, every district and every village, there is some area in which of course agriculture takes place. Okay, and that agriculture is of course viable agriculture. Okay, some part. Okay, although we are having hiccups that sometimes some other part would be unviable agricultural production or maybe practice, but some of the parts also show you that there is a viable agricultural practice. Now that is because of your such intensive agricultural district programs. Okay, so first is less intensive, in the sense what? Of course you are not haphazardly using your inputs. Less costly program, as I told you, you find your resources, you find your finances, you find your overall technology, and then you use it in optimized way. Launched in selected blocks of 150 districts and revised version of IADP. Okay, so whatever this 1960s intensive agricultural district program was there, the second part of this was launched in 1964-65. Now here the objective was quite little bit different, as in here they wanted to reduce your inputs and they wanted to make the program less costly. So to bring about 20 to 25% of cultivated area of country under intensive agricultural development. So under intensive agricultural development we tried to bring the overall cultivated area. Okay, then comes highly or high yielding variety program 1966-67. It's the same period during which GR started, Green Revolution started. So what do you mean by high yielding variety program? Remember this very, very carefully. Target areas are Punjab, Haryana, western parts of Uttar Pradesh. Initially, Green Revolution started only in certain hubs of overall rice and wheat production. If you see, the main purpose was self-sufficiency in your cereal crop production or food crops production. Okay, how was it achieved? It was achieved along with combination with application of high analysis and balanced fertilizers, irrigation, plant protection, improved implements, etc. So here you understand, along with high yielding variety seeds, there were other inputs also which were used in the agriculture so as to increase your overall production. To determine extent of spread, okay, of overall production and this such production practices. And last would be to study the problems of the implementation of program. As we know, Green Revolution brought some boon and some bane. That means it brought some positives and some negatives. Then is Integrated Rural Development Program 1980. So we saw intensive agricultural district program. Similarly, now we will be looking at Integrated Rural Development Program. So it is IRDP. Now this is also very, very important. Now this particularly was done to a targeted group which was of course under the poverty line. So below poverty line families were under this, to help the families who are under the poverty line so that we can enhance their state of living. It was in rural areas and it was such that we are trying to improve overall facilitation for your families which are under poverty line, to empower poor by helping them at every level. Okay, then to provide overall productive assets and inputs in the target group, asset which could be primary, secondary or tertiary. For every rural area, that particular different assets are there. So here the assistance, if you see, the financial assistance would be given to the families. Okay, what do you mean by financial assistance? It means that yes, subsidies are given to the families. So in rural areas, whatever these below poverty families are there, here we will try to give them financial assistance. Okay, and that would be in form of subsidies, as in maybe loans or maybe credit from different financial institutions. I hope you get it. Then comes Technology Assessment and Refinement, that is TAR, and Institutional Village Linkage Program. So Technology Assessment and Refinement TAR and Institutional Village Linkage Program IVLP. What is this all about? So here you can understand that whatever a particular technology is there, that particular technology is refined according to requirement. So technology assessment and refinement, such refined technologies then are given to farmers. Then such farmers, they need assessment and problem identification. Now of course this particular farmer, we are giving him technology. Why we are giving him technology? Of course he would be facing some problem. Now that problem assessment should be there. Okay, what is the problem? Then identification is there. Okay, we have identified the problem, then we identified why that particular problem is there, and then what we do, we research and find the and also do the research findings. That means what? For such problem, what are the possible solutions? For that we do our research. Okay, after doing that research, then we understand, okay, this is our problem, this is the reason why these problems are there. According to research, these are the possible solutions. Now according to these possible solutions, this is the particular technology, but this particular technology cannot be directly applied, so that is why we need to refine this technology. You get the point what I'm saying? Now I will give you an example. Okay, suppose there is a problem of insect attack. Okay, suppose there is a problem of insect attack. That insect, suppose whatever we are talking about, that is locust. What do you mean by locust? So locust is a flying insect. Okay, so that locust attack is there. Okay, now this is a particular problem because locust actually will destroy your crops. We have understood this particular problem, that this particular problem occurs only in a particular season, that is of course end of the winter and then start of a summer. This particular attack takes place. So during the summer season, as temperature goes on increasing, the locusts change their position from one area to other. We identified the climatic reasons also, we have identified. It is nothing but when insects are according to the climate, they are changing their overall habitat. Okay, now why this particular happening? All this analysis we have done. After analyzing, now we do the research. What we have seen, what are the different locust attacks which have taken place all over the world? What are the different reasons and what could be the possible technological solutions? What are the possible traditional solutions? What are the possible small and simple adaptations which we can use to prevent all such locust attack? Now after looking at all these things, if you consider one particular area, maybe Gujarat or Rajasthan in Maharashtra, in your India, okay, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, considering that suppose their locust attack is happening, then we'll understand, okay, we don't have that much technological capacity to provide it to every farmer. Okay, so now we understand that, okay, there are two things which we can apply here. So the one thing is nothing but certain practices, worldly accepted practices, so as to prevent the locust attack, and second is nothing but simple small techniques which we can do on the field so as to ward off the locust attack. Now these whatever technologies we identified, we refined it according to our needs and our requirement, and then that we again gave it to farmers so as to solve that problem. This generally happens in your, of course, technology assessment and refinement. Now this happens village to village basis. It was launched in 1995, introduced technological stability and sustainability along with the productivity of small production systems. Okay, so to maintain the profitability by even taking into consideration environmental issues. Now if you see, it facilitates adoption. It facilitates adoption, that is of course choosing appropriate technologies for removal of drudgery and higher income for farm women. So what do you, drudgery in the sense what? So too much hardship on the agricultural field which gives lesser outputs. For example, just imagine if you are doing your plowing activity, if a person is doing that plowing activity, that is if farmer himself is doing plowing activity, so here the plowing output would be less, and at the same time even the plowing whatever hardship is there, that would be more. So no, not use, it is not useful to us, not that of useful to us. Suppose we change the scenario now, rather than human being doing the plowing, now we keep an buffalo, bullock or oxen, that means a cattle. So cattle is now using the normal traditional plow which is made of wood. Now here we understand the drudgery is little bit reduced and the output is also little bit increased. Okay, so it's a good thing. Now take one more scale scenario. Now rather than using cattle like cow, buffalo, we are using tractors. Okay, so we are using tractors for plowing. So if you use tractor for plowing, of course your overall output will increase. Okay, and here you will understand that overall output will increase and your drudgery, that is your hardship on the field, that would be reduced a lot. Okay, so in this way you try to adopt a particular technology by reducing the drudgery or hardship and more of to increase your income in that particular activity. To monitor socio-economic impact on technological modules based on environmental at meso and mega level. Okay, so these are overall, this was all the scheme about, that is what is the scheme? institutional village linkage program. Then other extension project, if we talk about, one is Atma, ATMA, and second is of course your Farm Field School, FFS. What is Atma? Try to understand. It is a registered society of key stakeholders who are involved in agricultural practices for sustainable agricultural development, and that also which level? Of course the intermediary level, that is district. Okay, so it is a focal point of integrating research and extension activities, and more importantly decentralizing overall agricultural prosperity. Decentralizing in the sense what? Giving each locality or each region, district level, village level, a possible empowerment so that they can actually apply the technology, they can actually improve their agricultural activities. This is to decentralize their day-to-day management of agriculture extension system at the field level. That means decentralize in the sense what? Day-to-day whatever management of crops is there, of whatever application of technology, application of knowledge on the field is there, that you do at your field level. Okay, now this was about Atma, Agricultural Technology Management Agency. So this agency makes sure, okay, so this particular agency is there, it makes sure that whatever technological aspects are there, whatever new technology in market is there, whatever new practice is there, maybe whatever new machineries are there, new implements are there, their idea and their particular application is shared within the village level community, within the rural community, within the at the district level, and then such whatever day-to-day management of agriculture is there, that occurs by application of these all techniques in our field. Then farmer field schools, a new participatory approach. First is rapid rural appraisal, that is RRA. Second is participatory rural appraisal. Then is participatory learning approaches, participatory learning methods, agro ecosystem analysis, and participatory action research. Then other extension projects. Okay, one is of course your National Agricultural Technology Project 1998. This is because of the support of World Bank, and what is the purpose here? To of course strengthen and complement existing resources and augment National Agricultural Research System (NARS). Agricultural Technology Information Centers, ATIC, it serves as a single window delivery system for of course your services, product of research for the areas, as well as concerned institute of which are involved in this particular of course project. If you see agricultural technology information system centers, these are the centers which disseminates the important technological informations related to services and products, okay, of research in different areas. Okay, then National Agricultural Innovation Project. Now this, the main objective is to accelerate, okay, to facilitate accelerate sustainable transformations of Indian agriculture in support of poverty alleviation and income generation. So generally this particular National Agricultural Innovation Project is more of to make your agriculture sustainable, and more importantly transform the Indian agriculture so as we can increase the overall income, and more importantly what are the different ways in which such can be done? Collaborative development, application of agricultural innovations by public organizations, and partnership with different farmer groups. So all these, by the name only we will understand what are the projects and what they are having objective to do. Then next is National Horticultural Mission 2005-2006 it was launched in. It's a centrally sponsored scheme, 100% assistant to the state mission, and more importantly in which plan this horticultural mission was launched? 10th plan. So don't actually forget this. Okay, then assistance from government will be 85% with 15% contribution from the state government. Then comes development of women and children in rural areas, that is to provide rural women with productive income generating assets, credits and agricultural opportunities, and more importantly to provide effective organization support structure for the women where they can receive such particular what? Assistance in the production of different goods and services related to agriculture. Okay, then comes your TRISEM. Now this is again very important. Now whatever youths are there in agriculture, all these youths, they are actually not confident enough that they will carry the agricultural activities, or maybe they will carry agricultural occupation. Okay, already agricultural crisis is going on. Already these agricultural youths whatever are there, they are getting very less income from the agriculture, We also know what in society there is a particular view related to agriculture as an occupational activity, and therefore here we have to understand very, very clearly that training of rural youth for self-employment is nothing but this particular platform gives technical skills for the youths, and it also gives them a hope that their agriculture, normal agricultural practices can be turned into agri businesses. Okay, so technical skills to the rural youth in the families where of course they are below poverty line, giving them self-employment in the broad fields of agriculture and allied activities, even letting them start their own industries, services and business enterprises related to agriculture. Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, we all would be knowing this, 1989, very, very important scheme. This targets rural poor families, and here what we do is that giving them gainful employment opportunity remains the most important objective of this particular scheme. Then Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, okay, SGSY, 1999, renamed as National Rural Livelihood Mission, okay, so DAYNRLM 2011, to provide self-employment in rural to rural and urban poor by establishing SHG. What is a SHG? It's a self-help group. So SHG you have to understand, always remember self-help group, what does it mean? So it is a non-governmental organization, or maybe here if you try to understand, this is not a government's body, okay. So self-help group is nothing but an institution where more than 5 or more than 5 people, they come together, okay, and they togetherly they can form an institution, they can form an organization for a specific purpose, okay. So these self-help groups are actually based on contribution of all the members in that particular group. So that's why they are called as self-help group. The scheme subsumes 6 schemes, that is integrated rural development program, training of rural youth for self-employment, development of women and children in rural areas, supply of improved toolkits to rural artisans, Ganga Kalyan Yojana and Million Wells scheme, okay. So these are all the projects. Then we talk about India's very, very favorite scheme, that is MGNREGA. So Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2006, it's a legal guarantee, always remember, it is a legal guarantee. How much days employment? 100 days employment you should be getting, and more importantly try to understand, wherever drought like situation is there, there you are getting more 50 days of employment, so plus 50, that is 150 days, okay. So objective is to improve the purchasing power of the rural, primary, semi-unskilled workers. Roughly 1/3 of stipulated workforce must be women, and MGNREGA focuses on economic and social empowerment of women, okay. Then comes Soil Health Card 2015, very, very important. Now what is SHC? Soil Health Card scheme is nothing but here every farmer would be getting certain cards. On that card, whatever your soil is, the composition of nutrients, what are the deficit nutrients, and what chemicals can be applied at what level, this is the data which is given for 3 years, okay. For 3 years that validity is there of this particular card, which gives the overall macro and micronutrient analysis of the soil. So to provide a basis to address nutrient deficiencies, strengthen functioning of soil testing laboratories, diagnose soil fertility related constraint with standardized procedures, and more importantly to promote soil test based on nutrient management. I hope you get it. Then comes Farmers First to 2016. Now see here how much projects and how much governmental schemes we are looking at one place. Now remember very carefully, always there would be this particular question related to agri extension projects, related to agri extension government schemes. It always comes in NABARD, it always comes in AFO, it always comes in any of the SO exams. Now why it comes? Because all these, if you see these names of this particular scheme, these are very, very important, very, very important. So you should be knowing this, and you should be even covering those in depth, okay. So then where were we? Yes, we were at Farmers First 2016 campaign. So it was, first is nothing but farm is field, innovation is nothing but of course the new things which innovated, resources, science, technology program, okay. Target group is all farmers, not one or other, to enhance the connection between farmers and scientists, farmers and researchers, to identify and integrate the technological options and to make such adaptable model which has both traditional knowledge also as well as technological adaptations also, to provide modules to farm women to address their drudgery reduction. So we all know women are burdened with the double or dual burden in agriculture. What is this dual burden in agriculture? Dual burden in agriculture is nothing but a woman has to work on field also, a woman has to work in the household also. So therefore this dual burden is there. Because of this, her drudgery extent is much more larger than male. Okay, so these particular activities, you have to reduce the drudgery, you have to improve the income. Okay, so for example, here you can understand in Maharashtra, if you see, I'll give you an example. The daily wage, if you see for women, it is almost 250 rupees, whereas if you see the male wage, that is actually how much rupees? It's actually 450 to 500 rupees. So it's twice actually. So for the same amount of work, you could see the overall whatever wage is there in Maharashtra. So state wise, different wages are there. In Andhra Pradesh, you could see it's 700 for males. So less, of course, 400, 300 would be for women. Okay. So to study the performance of the technology and perceptions of the farmers, build a network where we can link organization, different organization, farming organizations, we can link governments, we can link NGOs, we can link different technology, technological companies, we can link different corporates, we can link different other institutions, so that overall we can try to create a commune of agriculture. Then to institutionalize farmer first process. Okay, so this also we can be doing. Then National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture 2015. So here try to understand, target groups are of course all farmers. Okay, target groups are all farmers. Objective, what is the objective? To enhance resilience of agriculture covering crops, livestock, fisheries to climate change through improved risk management technologies. Okay, so enhance the resilience of agriculture covering crops, livestock, fisheries to change to climate change through improved risk management technologies, to demonstrate site specific technology packages on farmers field for adapting the current climate risks, and last is to enhance capacity of scientists and stakeholders in context of climate resilient agricultural research. So remember very carefully, as climate is changing, okay, as climate is changing, correspondingly because of climate change, what are the problems associated with climate change? Greenhouse gases pollution. Okay, then normal pollution, greenhouse gases emission, overall increase in overall global temperature, rise in the sea levels. Okay, overall ocean acidification. Okay, then other than that, what could be the problem? Yes, particulate matter, increase in the particulate matter and overall drop in the purity of the air levels. Okay, increasing extent of pollutants and effluents in the air. These are all the problems associated. Now all these problems, how do they affect agriculture? Yes, I'll tell you. First is, of course, they affect agriculture as they change your climatic plus wind systems. Okay, so they change your climatic and wind systems. For example, monsoon gets affected because of the climate change. As monsoon changes, local climate changes and weather changes. As monsoon is affected because of, for example, Indian context we will understand. Because of climate change, here overall Pacific climate and wind overall systems are disturbed or maybe there is an imbalance. Because of imbalance, El Nino and La Nina, this phenomena takes place. Okay, when El Nino phenomena takes place, what happens? Of course, whatever your monsoon is there, that is suppressed. When monsoon is suppressed, less amount of rainfall comes in Indian subcontinent. When less amount of rainfall comes in Indian subcontinent, you will understand that it is very difficult to do agricultural practices. There are various problems associated with monsoon. Similarly, overall increase in temperature, the optimum temperature for crop growth, that is affected. Overall increase in the sea levels, okay, it harms your overall biodiversity which is associated with the coastal areas. Okay, with increase in overall pollution, it affects the photosynthetic rate, okay, of particular plants. It reduces the overall food production capacities of the plant. Overall, when the carbon footprint is increased, maybe through ocean acidification, maybe through effluent addition, what happens is that, of course, we fall whatever the number of trees are there. As we all know, trees are what they are nothing but these are the lungs of the earth. Whatever trees are there, they absorb the carbon dioxide. Okay, so therefore less amount of what if the effluent goes on increasing, it creates pressure on the vegetation, or it creates pressure on the overall agricultural systems. In this way, here you can understand how climate change affects your agriculture, and that is why we need climate resilient agriculture. That means however the climate is going on changing, however the climate is changing from one particular type to other. Okay, so year after year this climate change is of course unprecedented. It's going to happen only year after year. Okay, of course we can do some climate specified activities. Of course we can try to reduce the problems which are associated with climate. Okay, but the overall change in climate which is happening, that is happening since 10,000 million years ago. Okay, you could just understand and imagine how much ice ages have occurred in the world. Similarly, now also climate change, whatever is there, that is unprecedented. But our main issue is that according to climate as it is changing in the year to year or maybe decade to decade. So if the climate is changing on the year basis or maybe decade basis, that means every 10 years, we have to take into consideration the climate and we have to respond our agricultural systems, our agricultural practices according to climate. Okay, now this is very, very essential. For example, Pradhan Mantri Kusum Yojana, here we are providing agricultural water pumps which are driven not by even electricity, which are driven by solar energy. Now this shows that how technological adaptation is done so as to reduce your resource use, so as to increase your full fuel efficiency, and more importantly giving spur to renewable energy, solar energy here we are using. So in this way, this is called as climate resilient agriculture. Here PM Kusum pumps are used for providing groundwater irrigation to the agricultural fields. I hope you get the example which I am giving. Then is attracting and retaining youth in agriculture. Target group is rural youth, making rural youth realize the importance of agriculture, the importance of allied and services sector which is associated with agriculture, giving them hope that agricultural activity can be turned into agricultural business to improve their overall capacity and enable the farm youths to establish networks so that they can take up resources, capital intensive activities, and they can add value. Okay, they can add value to the overall agricultural system. Then to demonstrate function linkage through different institutions, stakeholders for the convergence of different opportunities which come in agriculture. Then Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana 2016. Okay, so here the target group is all farmers. Implementing agency, if you see, Ministry of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare. Okay, what are objectives? Of course, providing financial support to farmers who are suffering from crop loss, damage which is arising out of unforeseen events, stabilizing income of farmers to ensure their continuous in farming, encouraging farmers to adopt innovative and modern agricultural practices, ensuring flow of credit to agricultural sector with contribution to food security, again related to agriculture, crop diversification, planting different crops, whatever food basket is there, rather than making it skewed, balancing it out, okay, based on the diet which is required for that particular population, enhancing growth, competitiveness in agriculture, and more importantly, protecting the farmers from the risks which are associated, crop failure, insect attack, okay, etc. So this is what overall Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana talks about. It is more about, Bima means what? Insurance. To give the farmers insurance and reduce their risk because of the agriculture which is associated or maybe more dependent on other external factors like climate, disaster, etc. Coverage of crops, if you see, oilseeds are there, food crops are there, and annual commercial crops are there under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Though all these schemes are covered in PIB sessions which are taken by Lakshmi ma'am on our regulatory bodies channel. Then Niti AOG, why Niti AOG was brought? So earlier Planning Commission was there, PC. Planning Commission, the approach was top to bottom approach. Whereas government wanted, or maybe the new government which came in after 2014, it wanted that there should be a proper democratic decentralization in the country. So for that, rather than actually following top to bottom approach, the approach should be actually opposite, bottom to top approach. Therefore, Niti AOG is an institution which serves as an apex public policy or think tank of the government. It has no financial powers, but only it's an guiding or planning agency. It replaces planning commission. It is policy and program framework, cooperative federalism, okay, decentralization, democratic decentralization, monitoring and evaluation, and more importantly, it's a think tank and knowledge and innovation hub. I hope that you get an idea. Then different committees are there on basis which different institutions have been formed. This is a compulsory question in the exam which comes in different agricultural exams. Very important. I have made a free table for all of you guys. 3-tier Panchayati Raj system. Which was the committee? So try to understand 3-tier Panchayat Commission. 3-tier Panchayati Raj Commission. How much? Which was the... Sorry guys. Yeah. 3-tier Panchayati Raj. Who gave it? Which committee? Yes, Balwant Rai committee. 2-tier Panchayati Raj committee. This 3-tier means which tiers? Tell me. Of course, which? Zilla Parishad. Yes, Panchayat Zilla Parishad. And then which? Tell me. Come on. Gram Panchayat. Yes, Gram Panchayat, Zilla Parishad, and Panchayat Samiti. Okay. So these are 3. Which are those? First is village level. Then it's of course your taluk level or block level, and then it's district level. So 3 types: Panchayat Samiti, Gram Panchayat, and Zilla Parishad. I hope you get it. 3. Okay. Then 2-tier system. Now in this 2-tier, what happened? Zilla Parishad was there, district level, and Gram Panchayat was there. Panchayat Samiti, that is block level, they removed. Who gave it? Ashok Mehta committee. Then Krushi Vigya Kendra. Which committee gave the recommendation? This is very important. Mohan Singh Mehta committee. This has been repeated in NABARD. NABARD grade A. Question has been asked. This has been also asked in ICAR exam. This has been also asked in AFO exam. I forgot, sorry. It has been asked in AFO also. Small Farmers Development Agency, SFDA. Venkatapayya committee. Okay. Marginal Farmers Agricultural Laborers Program, Venkatapayya committee. Agricultural Scientist Recruitment Board, Gajendra Gadkar committee. Regional Rural Banks, Narsimhan committee. Now why regional rural banks? Of course, those are again associated with the agricultural finance. Okay. Lead bank scheme. It is a flagship scheme of NABARD. Again, Nariman committee was the committee which recommended lead bank scheme. Then doubling farmers income, very important. Ashok Dalwai committee. What was the homework which I gave you? Krishi Vigyan Kendra, and the answer I have already told you. In the comment section you can still write down. 3-tier structure of Panchayati Raj. Okay, try to understand. What is this 3-tier? Village level, what I told? Yes, Gram Panchayat, we all would be knowing. In Gram Panchayat, there are 3 types of bodies under. One is Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha, what is Gram Sabha? Can anybody tell? So Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, and Nyaya Panchayat. Nyaya Panchayat is nothing but it is a court at village level. It's a court. Then what is Gram Panchayat? Gram Panchayat is nothing but, of course, there is one Sarpanch who is the chairperson and other members who have been elected by, of course, your people. Then comes Gram Sabha, which is again a body within your Gram Panchayat. Okay. Then at block level, Block Samiti, that is Janpad Panchayat or Panchayat Samiti. So at block, this block is in some state it is called as Taluk, in some state it is called as Taluka, in some states it's called as actually block only. Okay. But whatever it is, the Panchayati Raj institution at block level is called as Panchayat Samiti, and at district level it is called as Zilla Parishad. So here you can understand this is your 3-tier Panchayati Raj system. What is 2-tier Panchayati Raj system? As I told you, Zilla Parishad at district level, and at village level or maybe at and block level, here Mandal Panchayat is called, which is at Mandal level. Okay. Then comes innovative approaches in extension, and that we will see in our next class. Thank you very much. See you next time in part. We will continue agricultural extension maybe in future. Okay. And we will continue that particular class. Thank you very much. See you next time.